Oil drops like a rock in October, Chevron has a good quarter, and a Cornell project aims to find which grass is greener. All this and more on today's Energy Scout News. Hello and welcome back once again to Energy Scout News and Information. I'm Red Byers. The price of crude oil plummeted by a third in October. That's the most it's ever fallen in a month. As a matter of fact, October marked the single biggest monthly drop for commodities since 1956. Investors are concerned that a slump in global economic growth will decrease demand. Oil may be down for now, but IEA Director Nobuo Tanaka says that's just a temporary blip. In the long run, the low energy price age is over, and he's afraid supply won't catch up to demand once the global economy recovers. We'll take a closer look at the causes behind oil's latest round of ups and downs later in our newscast. But first, in other news, Chevron's third quarter profit more than doubled. The company's refineries performed well after oil prices peaked early in the quarter and declined sharply. That cut cost and boosted profit margins. Transocean lands a new drillship contract, but first, a look at today's People on the Move. Rowan CEO Daniel F. McNeese plans to retire at the end of 2008. J. Mike Stice has joined Chesapeake Energy as Senior Vice President of Natural Gas Projects and as President and COO of Chesapeake Midstream Partners. Daybreak Oil and Gas has appointed James F. Westmoreland as President and CEO. Transocean recently lost a deal for 2 jackup rigs, but a new agreement promises to more than make up the difference. The company's landed a contract worth more than $1 billion for a new ultra-deepwater drill ship. The ship will be able to drill in 12,000 feet of water and wells up to 40,000 feet. Marathon Oil has delayed a project geared toward running cheap grades of crude oil at its Detroit refinery. The company had to plan to start construction in the spring. Now, Marathon delayed the project to consider cutbacks, but may finish it more quickly after efforts to tighten the construction schedule. And which grass is really greener? That's what Cornell experts are trying to figure out. They're working on a project to determine which field grasses are the best candidates for dedicated energy crops. Project head Dr. Donald Vian said our ultimate goal is to maximize the economic benefit of bioenergy production as an alternative energy source. Oil ended October on a down note, but it's anybody's guess as to where prices will go from day to day. In a news segment for Energy Scout News, noted energy economist James Williams with WTRG Economics takes a look at what's driving it all.
It's rather strange. If you ask me what is influencing crude prices right now, I just have to say almost everything. But the dominant force is the economic outlook, and the economic outlook is negative, and so that tends to put downward pressure on crude. A lot of times you can look at a graph of that and you see that oil prices go up and we have a recession, and oil prices go up and we have another recession. But if you look at that same graph from a different perspective, every time we have a recession, oil prices collapse. And even if the U.S. isn't having one, and during the Asian financial crisis, for example, oil prices went from almost $30 a barrel down to $10 a barrel. And right now we are in a world economic crisis, and oil's going to suffer along with everything else. It's just not independent. It's not as independent of the rest of the world as it appeared this summer.
You can learn more at the WTRG Economics site at www.wtrg.com. Be sure to check out the oil price history page to get a perspective on oil prices in the last several decades. And that's it for today's Energy Scout News. For more information on these stories and more, be sure to check out the news section on our sites. And remember, if you have any news tips from around the energy industry, you can email us at news@energyscout.com. And as always, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.